series. We'll still tell her story. We'll tell the truth on Natalie Wood till the end. It doesn't matter. Like I was hired to do that. That's what I did. People call me a whistleblower. They call me like, he's the rogue producer of LA. He's so controversial because he sent some weird email. Like just the things like Hollywood has this whole, I'm not going to the Hollywood thing. I'm not allowed to. Saturday night. Love the show too. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. No, I do. It's a big thing what you're doing right now. You realize what we're doing, right? I'm solving the greatest Hollywood cold case in history on your show.
Well, let's see if the authorities do something about it. What do you think, Michael?
Well, they will. Yeah. What do you think, Michael?
No, I think you've got. Matter of fact, I've got chat rooms going crazy right now, just waiting on every syllable that you're talking.
And tell them for Natalie. I want you to plug in there and say for Natalie. One of you type in there and say for Natalie. From Natalie. She thanks you. You're talking about her. You're thinking about her. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm here. I'm a conduit. You're welcome. And thank you for listening.
You got it.
Okay, good. Want me to finish it off? You ready for the murder part?
Yeah, I'm sitting here, smoking my cigar and shaking. Yeah, I want to know, and everybody else wants to know.
What do you got, Cuban?
No.
Little Steely Dan going, or what? What do we got?
My wife doesn't allow me to smoke. For some reason, she yesterday bought me an ashtray and bought me 2 boxes of cigars and said, go at it, only in your studio.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, I'm the sign, right? You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay? Good job, man. Relax and enjoy this, because, we'll solve it right here.
Well, I'm going to say this before you do. Try smoking a cigar in a 12 by 15 foot room without any air conditioning.
Whoa. Oh, boy. What do we got? Okay, yep.
I'm close to crying.
No scotch, though, huh? No brandy? No brandy?
Not during the show.
Okay, other boy.
Okay. No muscatel either.
Okay. Oh, man. Wait till our next segment. We're doing Mount Shasta, right?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, man. Wait. I mean, you're listeners. Sorry, guys. I don't want to flip from Natalie Wood to Mount Shasta, but okay, let's finish it off. You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Michael?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Saturday night, they have to fight the bottle. Christopher Walken, yeah, I mean, if a man smashed a bottle in my face, I'd probably punch him in the face at least protect Natalie, but no one ever protects Natalie. No one ever does anything for Natalie. So Christopher Walken goes to bed, and he just runs away. Ostrich in the sand. He's out. Okay, see you, Chris. Chris goes away. He's down. Now Davern's watching it. The captain's there. He's 9 sheets to the wind. So's RJ, hair messed up, sweating. Natalie. And he coming out of that sentence, like, you want to have sex with my wife, Chris? Like, he's already blasted out, right? Enraged, seeing red, whatever we're saying. That fight begins right there, okay? Physical. The earrings ripped out, there's blood, the coroner, there's bruises, there's the captain IDs the body, not RJ. There's bruising, there's all that. There's already signs of that. So that starts there. Dennis Davern is now watching this, and now he's getting scared, right? Now he's in a bad position. And that fight's now going to continue into their cabin or master stateroom, whatever we call that. And now that's where Natalie Wood is beaten. And that's where Captain Dennis Davern comes up to the door and bangs on the door and, like, tries to open it and, like, come in, and Wagner won't let him in. And, like, I'm their husband. I've got this. You know, he goes into his, what's going on in there? I mean, RJ. And he calls him RJ because they've been friends for 8 years. He's always had RJ's back. And now he's going to have RJ's back again because they're staring it now in the face. This is the last 5 minutes of her life. Okay? They close the door. The captain's back. He turns up the music. He's, like, in denial, hit another shot of whiskey, whatever. He hears the fighting. That fighting now is, like, violent. And it spills out onto the back deck. And they come out on the boat. Now they're on the back deck. This is the most famous back deck in boating history. Natalie Wood, the jokes, the stories, and the movies, the clips, the pop culture. It's right here. This is it. It's the final moment. And the captain's watching, and he's on the perch, and he's got to look down. He's 5 feet away. He's like 9 feet away. Okay, he's seeing it. He's listening to it. Walken hears it. and we'll get to him at the end. And they're on the back end. Something's happening, choking, punching, bouncing a head off a deck, punching, blunt force trauma, choking, suffocating. Who fully knows, right? I wasn't there. Were you? I wasn't. No one was there. It was 1981. It was the end of Natalie Wood's life. This was the end of an era in a way, too. Like her era, her generation, okay? This is the 60s generation, the 70s. All the film stars. This was Walken and her together in a movie. The director from the movie Brainstorm never worked again because he felt so bad about what happened. Like the two actors, and she died, and there was so many people affected.
But they didn't lift.
So
they didn't try stopping it, though. I find that so astounding. Regardless if they liked him, didn't like him, loved Natalie, didn't love Natalie, I don't understand why they were still on the boat to begin with.
You hit it on the head.
Yeah,
you did. You hit it on the head, and that's why I'm going to talk about man code as I wrap up this segment.
There must be something there.
What's that?
I said it was something because, this is the strangest situation where nobody would do anything and then they play dumb.
Mm-hmm. Remember, there's 3 men with 1 woman, right? 3 men, 3-to-1 ratio. So, can one of the guys do something and just stop RJ? It's easy to break up a fight. You just get in there and you kind of, and it's okay. And that's the guilt and that's the shame. And that's what happened to these people. And I felt bad for Dennis Daver, and I felt bad for the civilian investigator. I felt bad for the investor involved. I felt bad for myself. I didn't know what I got into. My kids even talked about her. Natalie, who's Natalie? Okay, I take these things seriously. It's not about it wasn't a game. It started out as a game, but then that's why journeys are so beautiful like that. It started out as a business deal, a hustle. And it turned into I went on a journey in a civil action, John Travolta's movie about Woburn, where my mom was from. I'll plug her real quick. But anyway, and I felt like him, the Jan Schlickman character in the movie, don't want to listen to me. And then maybe I overshot it and I went for too much, and that's what he did in the movie. And so anyway, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So we're on the boat. They're in the back now, the most famous deck in boating history, the back deck of Natalie Wood. Stormy, rainy, 1981. They're moored. They're not actually in the ocean. A lot of people thought they were in the ocean, it was the waves, and it's no, they were moored. There were boats near them. So not only did 3 men not say anything, there also was a bunch of people around partying, what? What's going on? The guy who came out to the boat was the harbor master, and a guy at the restaurant took a dinghy out. What's going on out here, guys? And when they turned the spotlight on them, he saw 2 wasted dudes, where's Natalie Wood? It's guys, okay, maybe clean up your life for a little bit. And they spot them and that. There's a whole dance. I thought I'd run out of stuff to talk about on an hour. There's so much more. I can't even get into it. Now my brain's clicking into it. I'm there's so much. They wrote books. There were articles. They're on Dr. Phil. They were on Dr. Oz just recently. They were on there. The tabloids were there. The tabloids sent me a cease and desist letter. How many people get sued by the National Enquirer?
Yeah, when they're the one getting sued, yeah.
So anyway, all right, so back to it, sorry. We're on the back deck of the boat. Okay. So beating, blunt force trauma, chokes her, whatever. I don't care what happens right there. She's still alive when she hits the water. So that part of the forensics and that part of the evidence, I have to stick to that. I can't stray from the facts. You know what I mean? You with me there?
I'm with you. Now, Michael, Michael, do you got a question here at this point, being an attorney?
What are the chat people saying online? What are the people asking about? They want to know.
They want to know what happened.
Right now, they're in shock. They're just going, "Oh my gosh!" One woman.
Well, I'm going to drop the hammer.
Okay, well, I think they're ready for it because you've got them just at the edge right now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why we're going to set it up to drop it. Okay, so and I can't say with conviction, oh, he choked her. Oh, he punched her. He fucking bounced her head off the deck. I don't care what he did to her. Doesn't matter. He stuck her in the water, and I'm going to go backwards to one thing in a second here. He stuck her in the water. She was alive. So the civilian investigator put the socks on. She jumped in the tub. she swam in the ocean. She did all the tests. She realized, wait, this couldn't happen, and she debunked all these. There were 5 major points. There were 5 pieces of forensics. Those things I had to know and I had to memorize. And when I wrote the cover letters to the studio executives, I had to say the socks fell off when they shouldn't have, or her bladder was still full and it didn't empty, and there's a mechanism in your body. There's a human trigger that your body will excrete. I'm like, what is that? Again, what is this? Anyway, so all the forensics. So, back to the deck. Something happens there. Now, the captain at this point, and this is where, can't wait to see my email tomorrow.
Or mine.
Here you go, people. Here you go, people. Enjoy it for me. Can we start a GoFundMe page for my legal fund right now? Or what, Gary, what do we got? Wait, you're a lawyer. Michael, wait. This is a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Can we start it when I drop it right here, or what? I'm going to drop it.
Okay. I think
anyway.
we're ready.
Buddy, anyway. Okay, buddy. So the captain sees Robert Wagner put a jacket on her, and she's laying down. She's unconscious. She's on the deck still, and he sees her put a jacket on. He zips it up to that famous down jacket that floated instead of sunk, and that was part of the forensics too. And so Dennis sees that, and that's happening, and now he turns away, and he doesn't want to see anymore. He's past. It's fate, destiny. She's going to be dead here in a minute. And Robert Wagner slips her in the water, and she's still alive. And Natalie couldn't swim anyway, but that's not her fault in that regard. And Natalie Wood drowned face down and bobbed, and the coat actually kept her up. It didn't sink her. She didn't sink. And so she was still alive. And then when Robert Wagner came back and said, "Where's Natalie?" and the captain had to say, "I don't know." And the two of them looked around the boat, and they went through all the places. And it's a 62-foot boat, so it's very small. And so you can already see how weird this is. Like, two guys like, "Where is she? Is she in the closet?" I mean, where? You know, she's overboard. Well, guys, turn on the spotlight. Like, it's right there. And the captain does. He does reach. And that's why I'm going to defend Dennis Stavron here. He reaches. He goes. He wants to do it. Wagner says no. He does it twice. Okay? He's trying to put the spotlight on. Like, look for, well, wait, if she just disappeared, how far could she get? Well, they let the dinghy go too, right? Robert Wagner lets the dinghy go. And they use this excuse like, yeah, Natalie couldn't sleep at night because the dinghy was always banging around. And I'm like, okay. So they let the dinghy go. The dinghy's out there. She's out there. There's no noise. There's no noise. The dinghy's not running, and she's unconscious from either blunt force trauma, choking, punching. I'm not going to go into it. I don't need to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She's in the water. He put her in there. She's floating away, and she's dying. All three. Walken's still asleep. So we just talked about that. He's still asleep somehow. Okay? He didn't think anything weird when someone threw a bottle in his face, and he just kind of went to bed. He's 4.5 feet away from,
wow,
like, the back deck. He's, like, actually at the back deck. Like,
well, Todd,
so,
I find it
yeah.
very strange, and I don't know you, Michael, being his attorney, but, you know, hearing all the slamming, you know, somebody getting hit and choked and falling down on the back deck, anybody else, I would think, would have came out and did something or said something, would have intervened. I don't understand. These people who are on this boat, they're just as guilty as whoever committed it because they didn't do anything to stop, and they knew what was going on.
And the only thing you can get them on is concealment of murder. You can't get them on accomplice, and that's part of the investigative process that I take seriously too, is the law and what you can do. There's no statute of limitations on murder one. We know that. Accomplice, are you going to get Dennis Stavron as accomplice on the murder? Probably not. I mean, he's leaked the information. He told the police. He told them. He told everybody. No one listened. He was giving these little symbols. Like, he didn't want to say it so directly because he couldn't. Then he's an accomplice. There's no statute of limitations. So why would he do that? Like, that was the point. And I had to actually at one time reveal to the police that I knew about the murder so that I wasn't in concealment of a murder also, which was per my attorney. Okay, I was told to do that also.